Dzień dobry, Poznan! How are you all doing? You look fantastic. We already know our first finalist of the day here at the Continental Rumble, and it's time for us to start looking for the second. Now, a team that you all know and has great support, NaVi. Let's take a look at them.
Losing to Florazers was very good experience for us, and I think now we are already better than it was on grand finals. I think every team on this tournament are very strong, and each battle will be difficult for us.
We really like to play in Poland, so we're happy that this tournament in Poznan, in Poland, like grand finals. It's a good training before grand finals. It's like a small grand final.
Of course, we are here only for first place. It is our main goal on every championship.
Our strongest side is our team play and our captain. Our captain is a very strong captain. He can own all other captains.
To say they are a favorite is an understatement. They are a household name in the World of Tanks universe, and I'm sure they'll be putting on a show for you right now here at the Continental Rumble. Poznan, please join me in welcoming to the stage, NaVi. Good, sir. How are you feeling?
It's great.
What?
To be here is great. Very good.
And this crowd.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Now, they're supporting you. Guys? How does the team feel?
Team is great. I think we are ready to do the action.
Well, we hope you are, sir. Good luck. Thank you very much. I'll let them go. One more round of applause for NaVi. And as always, there must be two in any kind of battle, and the Rumble is no different. So, here, let's take a look at Tornadoes.
Несмотря на то, что у нас в нашей команде есть две замены, у нас было достаточно времени для подготовки, и я считаю, что наша команда хорошо должна выступить на этом турнире. Несмотря на то, что мы выступили на лан-финале не очень хорошо, так как у нас был неоптимальный состав, и команде Virtus.pro мы проиграли, сейчас мы хотим показать хороший бой и дать им реванш. Мы считаем, как и для любой другой команды, ключом для победы должна быть сыгранность внутри команды, достаточное количество тренировок и, наверное, все-таки удача также должна присутствовать. Чтобы занять первое место на этом турнире, достаточно приложить много усилий, и это целком вероятно. взять первое место.
Poznan, please, Wilki Brava, Tornadoes! Sir, this crowd excited?
Yeah.
The team, are you ready?
Yes.
We love having you. I wish you the best luck. Guys, please, a big round of applause again for Tornadoes. It means one thing. It's time now. It's time for us to get ready. It's time for us to go into the second match here at the Continental Rumble, which means I hand over to Sir Lukalot.
Well, thank you very much, sir. You have the most beautiful flower shoes I've ever seen on a man. Anyway, back to the games. Tornado.ROX, the first guys that we need to talk about because they're kind of new. There's some old players in there, but these guys are the unknown guys. So let's talk about them. Guys, what can we say about Tornado.ROX?
They're a combination of players from former teams that came together to play in the Gold League. So they came from 4 or 5 different teams. They formed a team, went through a qualifier to get a spot in Gold League, got into Gold League, started training a lot. They were really good in the season as well, putting the fire to Supreme, Virtus Pro, the big names, almost beating them. And then came to LAN final, had a sort of disappointing run against Virtus, where Virtus actually managed to win against them. But all in all, they take it really serious. They want to be top level, they want to be the new NaVi, the new Wombat on tanks, and they have a lot of player talent. Yes, they have 2 substitutes now, but their substitutes are also extremely good player, especially
Which
Dynamo.
are their substitutes?
Diador and Dynamo, normally. FC Dynamo is from Team Supreme, and Diador is from Hellraisers. So those are 2 veteran players and extremely skilled in their own way as well.
Diador's been around since Season 1, if you guys didn't watch the Gold Series back in the old days, years ago. Diador was one of the first players, I think he was the youngest player actually playing at the time, and he got all the way, surprisingly, to the finals, and that was for New Star. So the guy's been around for absolutely ages, and he actually had some surprising games there. A lot of focus on that guy. So I think he's going to add a lot to their team. What do you think, Rasta?
Yeah, I think so as well. I'm not that much aware of him. I know that New Star was quite a competitor to NaVi back then as well. Now they actually face each other again, like 2.5 years later. I think about ROX, I think they are kind of motivated. They did beat both Supreme and actually my team as well, Castle Crew, in the qualifier for this, taking down Supreme 5-4 and then Castle Crew 5-1. It's quite a big achievement for them, I have to admit that, and I think this might give them the motivation to reach even for more, maybe for the first place even, but first of all they have to beat NaVi, and that will be a really hard match for them.
On that note, they do have to go through NaVi. These guys are the Titans. They were first place in almost every tournament until the last grand finals, where they did come in 3rd place. As Juluk said, it was kind of a good thing that they lost, because now they have a chance to shuffle things around a bit and re-go and double up their efforts. What can you say about NaVi?
NaVi, they don't know where to start. They have the best team play I've seen in a long time. Seeing them at the grand finals, playing against Virtus and Hellraisers was absolutely incredible. I think those were my 2 favorite matches out of all of them, because they were so skilled. You could see how they were counter-rotating. They are an extremely good team. They haven't done so many changes. I mean, they have a few changes here and there. After 742, Deluxe went to manager. He's still a big role in the team. And the other guy, forgot his name for a second.
Which one?
The other team, Eclipse, thank you. He got replaced with the guys from Unity back then, and they just formed this team, which is deadly on all tournaments. They are a force to be reckoned with. You can't underestimate them. You have to be super prepared for them. And what they have going for them always is the scared factor. People are always scared of NaVi, which is half the reason they win most of the time, because people are scared of them.
Rightfully so. You see that big yellow jacket as you're walking past, you're like, oh god, this is going to be tough. Have you faced NaVi before?
Yeah, in the 3rd place game in Warsaw we faced them.
How did it feel to be going against NaVi?
Yeah, it had some aspects of what you just said. Of course, we can now play with NaVi in an actual tournament on a LAN, and we were also, I wouldn't say afraid, but we respected them really a lot. You do respect NaVi. They are a big team, a big name, and you probably you don't play your usual game against them, I think. At least, I think you should actually play a normal game.
You want to?
Yeah, you want to, but something always drives you into not playing your normal game because you think they're gonna beat us anyway. But you actually have to play as you always play, as you train. You cannot have special tactics, NaVi.
What he said is very true. I mean, when you play against NaVi, you're like, I don't think our usual game is going to be good enough. Let's try something else. So that is a really good point.
And I think playing as a professional World of Tanks play against NaVi is the moment where you just realize, okay, I kind of made it. I'm going up against one of the longest existing teams in the World of Tanks universe, and I think that's a really cool feeling.
And then you
it?
see the names joining one by one: Strike, Power Slide, and Acknowledge. You're like, oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Didn't Ollie used to play with some of these guys back in the day when he was actually playing? I think he was shoulder to shoulder with some of these giants back when they were almost unknown.
Red Rush back then.
Exactly.
Rush.
There was quite a few different teams, so I'm not sure if he actually played with these particular players, but he was like Eclipse, an artillery player, as far as I'm aware. But that's what we think without the picks and bans just coming up. You guys at home, I'm almost convinced, will be voting in the favor of NaVi. But Nelly, tell me.
Absolutely. I mean, people, if you haven't voted yet, head over to facebook.com/WGLEU and get yourselves involved. It's an easy way of winning bonus codes if you do it right. Well, if you predict the exact scoreline for this matchup, you can win one of 10 bonus codes. And currently, it's 85% for Natus Vincera.
Wow. Well, that's a bit less than I thought,
That's
actually.
a statement.
85%. I've heard worse. I've seen 99% before, I think.
True.
So
that happens in a regular seasons, but not so much on tournaments like this, because people at home do know, okay, this is like a cream de la cream of all existing teams.
Yeah.
And there we can't really do 90% votings.
I want to bring up the camo as well. We did actually get to see it in the next. We really focused on it. It's like, let's have a look what it looks like. And
I like it.
I like the blue the best, actually.
Yeah, I like
NSS
the green.
was quite nice. It's the blue. The blue was the best. Anyway, you guys at home can get involved. You can tell us on Facebook which one you like, if you liked it, if you didn't like it. Give us feedback. Tell us like what was so good about it, what was bad about it, why you didn't care. But I thought it was really nice when you saw the big rushes over the hills and you saw the blue team holding back and the yellowy orange
It's nice
team
when you see 7 tanks drive towards 7 other tanks with their personalized camo from the team. It just adds something special.
Yeah,
that's true.
It was easier for me to see what was going
also
on.
for the teams themselves, if they watch the VODs later, they're like, hey, this looks pretty cool. Look at us. Look at us driving a unit. That's pretty sweet, actually.
I always feel that when I'm in random battles and I see, or actually not just random battles, in team battles, you get your logo. And when it's the 30-second countdown, you spin around, you see all your tanks with the same logo on. That's always a really cool moment.
Or in Wombat's case, for sale. Have you seen
sale.
that?
Yeah.
I didn't.
Coca-Cola had it on the side of his T-54 and they zoomed in on it when he was the last player alive, for sale.
I
And
mean,
then they destroyed
those
it.
are the slots for sponsors, so it's actually up
And it's for sale,
people.
yeah. There we go. Okay, so let's talk about the picks and bans. Ruster, you've got them in front of you.
Yeah, exactly. Lost Ghost Town and Mines were banned by NaVi, and Lakeborn Steps banned by ROX. And I think they had kind of the same mindset towards the maps they want to play. We play Ruinberg and Himmelsdorf, 2 city maps. Like on Ruinberg, the Russian teams since the beginning of times invented the tactics for this. They defined the meta, so I think they both want to play those city maps because they're really good in it. And Himmelsdorf, I'm actually not sure. I think NaVi will like at least win 3-1 on Ruinberg because they're that much better on it. But in Himmelsdorf, I think ROX has some chances to take 1 or 2 maps for themselves because it's a map where you cannot make that much tactics. Like, it's not a tactical map. You have to have a lot individual skill, and those guys from ROX definitely have that as well.
Yeah, Tornado.ROX are very strong individually, and as we said, with substitutes, sometimes you lose a bit of team
Cohesion,
play.
synergy, yeah.
So it's definitely a good idea to go ahead and say, well, we know we're going to be a bit weak on that compared to NaVi, so let's go for the maps to give us the biggest advantage on actual tank versus tank individual skill basis. They know how to line up, they know how to hold their shots and focus fire. Of course they do. It's almost the first fundamental skill you need to get down if you want to be competitive in any way, shape or form. So
the good part for ROX is as well that Rurenberg and Himmelsdorf are two maps that both NaVi and the teams Supreme and Hellraisers, they kind of play it a similar way. So they probably have positions that they already know how to play. They don't need to be integrated that much in these two maps because they're very easy maps positional wise, because there's only a number of positions that work for each thing. So I think ROX could not have get two better maps to see who is better, because it's probably NaVi's best map and ROX's best map, both of them. So it's going to be really good.
Anything to add, Rasta?
I totally agree with Dakilde here, actually.
So that's it. All the discussion is done. We now know what's going on. Who is the first defender and what map?
NaVi is defending on Rurenberg first, that meaning that ROX picked also defense on Himmelsdorf. I think they consider probably that the defense side on both maps is a bit stronger, although I think there are several opinions about it. Like I said earlier, some think that the attacking side on Rurenberg is stronger. Also statistics actually prove that attackers winning more often. But actually in Himmelsdorf, I would say the defender has a clear advantage over the attacker. So
clear advantage? Do you know roughly the percentage?
No, I don't know. I just think it's like 2/3 for the defender.
Oh wow.
I think with the change of the map, it has changed a lot. There's ways like a good team can actually work around Himmelsdorf now, because if you watched Virtus at the season finals, you could see how they went one side and then they rotated back out. So Himmelsdorf has changed a lot. I think that is one map where we can still see some surprising things, maybe from NaVi, for example, because they have always been really good at making surprise tactics on Himmelsdorf, and I don't think we've seen everything yet after the map has changed. Everybody's kind of playing the same. Maybe NaVi could bring out something special, something unique, something we haven't seen before.
Well, they are very creative. Now, we heard about the Attack Penguin winning some money, lots and lots of money. It was 10,000 gold, and I think that's the highest individual prize we've ever just given away. And aren't we reaching...
That's actually true, yes.
I do not recall any other time where we've given more than 10,000 in one go.
That's true.
That was a big stack, that was a fat stack.
No, congratulations.
Yeah,
well,
you broke a record.
The next batch is waiting. So
how do we do this?
We might have the next 10k gold.
So when are we going to do it?
Holder, winner. Let's call that way.
Now?
No,
or after the first battle?
After,
map?
let's do it after the first battle, yes. The next hour is over. That means Twitch chat, get ready. You might win 10,000 gold, one of you at least, by being productive. We like reading from you, and we love all your salt. I don't know.
All your salt. We're just here for the salt. We're salt miners from now on.
But no, well, as said, get involved and be productive. Be nice. We love you, and hopefully you love us a little, at least much enough to be nice to us.
All right, so pour on the salt. Get voting on Facebook. What do you think the results are going to be? Quickly, guys, results.
5-3 NaVi.
5-3
NaVi.
5-1 NaVi. I'm going to say 5-0 NaVi because you didn't say it, and come on.
I'm going for a 5-2 then.
Okay.
So we have like
we cleared it. If NaVi lose now, we're all
And now Ollie goes like, ROX is going to win because he doesn't know what he's talking about.
But then he makes it somehow. It happens. Even a blind chicken finds a corner, right?
Right, well, I think the battle is on the way. It's ready to get started. So, that's enough of us talking. Let's go into the action with Laughter and Pansy.
Thank you, guys. And yeah, let's hope for all your sakes, Tornado.ROX, forget how to plug in their mouse or something, you know, because they've all pretty much just, you know, dug their grave for them. Ollie, do you think Tornado have a chance?
I think Tornado are going to win 5-4. So
bam, he's calling it. He's calling it. He's going out on a limb.
The pedestal on the analysis desk. I'm going to call them out on it because I have to say, I mean, you got to take this into account. Diador is a team captain for Tornado.ROX right now. It was positive in Season 1, but Diador was a team captain of Hellraisers who have beat NaVi before.
Maybe there's a little something there.
And I think Tornado.ROX actually has a more talented individual lineup than Hellraisers does.
Oh, okay, I thought you were about to say NaVi. I was like, you
can't really say that about NaVi because they're just unbelievable.
I'm going to wheel you out of this chair in a second if you go with that.
That was a really good joke. But I think they have a chance.
Okay.
Individually, Tornado.ROX are superb. The only thing they don't have going for them is the fact that they haven't been playing together for very long. And that's a huge factor you have to take into account.
Yeah, it's a big factor we're going to find out. And can they deal with the NaVi name? It is a theory, and it's a very honest one there. These guys are phenomenal. They are extraordinarily talented players, and there's a reason they have that reputation. There's a lot of theory crafting to these boys. There's a lot of individual brilliance that they have, and everyone loves watching them. But Tornado.ROX, I think they were very disappointed with their offline performance, let's say, in the EU finals. And now it's their chance to make up for it. However, they have to get past NaVi to have a shot at the Wombats for true revenge. Now, as said, we'll be kicking off on Ruinberg. What are your thoughts here on our starting formation? What do you think we're going to be able to see coming out from these guys?
Well, I saw we had a Borsig. We've actually got restart in this first round. We have a Borsig from Hellraisers, so that's going to be super interesting. We don't see the Borsig very much from Ruinberg at all, if at all. So we'll see how they play out. WZ131 was picked up by NaVi. 5100s, IS3s as per usual. But again, keep your eye on Diador from Tornado.ROX playing the Borsig. He played with Hellraisers plenty of times before in the seasons, but yeah, I think for him, he's just going to have to step up to the mark. If that tank can really get into its own, it'll definitely work. Well, it's a big lineup now if you look at Tornado.ROX. They've got some massive names in there. They were a dangerous team we saw through the EU region. Certainly looking formidable now. With these new additions coming in, this could be a side to rock the boat, but they struggled in their first offline finals. Their first game against NaVi, this is going to be a test and a half. Ladies and gents, we are almost ready to get this one started. NaVi will be on the defending side. Tornado.ROX have to run the gauntlet of attack. And what do we make of it thus far? Well, I think the analysis desk really hit the nail on the head. You have to play your own game. You have to play what you've trained. You don't overthink a situation. Don't do unusual things because you know, NaVi will beat you like that. You have to just play solid World of Tanks to beat NaVi, and the days are gone where super unpredictable bad play works because you just get taken down inch by inch. But aggressive play from Tornado straight through the middle. A little bit of team fire that actually tracks Sick, and that's not good as that LTTB does want to get into position as quickly as possible. There we go, and we are right on board. And we're going to be seeing them go straight towards the cap. Nothing too unsurprising. This is not something completely uncommon, but very little damage done just as of yet. Actually, 0 damage overall caused thus far. Cap has been starting out early on, but what we've seen from NaVi here, what are they up to so far? Well, NaVi went pretty aggressive at the beginning with Levshire and Spyro, but this time those two are actually going to filter over towards that left side, try and find a little bit of damage on the positive. Well, this is very different to what we normally see. This is very, let's say, forward from NaVi, going to be already trying to challenge out towards Positive straight away. Levshire does have the shot to be making, and Inspira going to deliver well, but Positive is still alive on minimal HP by this point, 34, but the backup's en route. Inspira will take him down, but at what cause? Levshire will fall. WZ131 removed from the battlefield. Kyriloid is on the way, but Inspire is now in between a rock and a hard place. He's got 2 tanks staring him down. The LTTB takes 1 shot, but Vorsic delivers while it counts. This is a good start from Tornado.ROX, but they need to be able to keep this up. They can't allow NaVi's pressure to crumble towards them. The LTTB of Kyriloid is going to be really a pain for Tornado.ROX to take down, but it'll have to be their next objective, and if Rhino can provide some good support towards Kiri, it could be good, but Kiri's in danger. Yeah, Zik is going hell for leather this one. Strike has going to find the Armageddon, but look at this. This is still going on all over the map. The Annihilator's trying to take the challenge, trying to save their teammate, and NaVi are starting to struggle here. They are down in numbers, but up in HP, so take from that what you want. Strike, though, going to take it on the nose there. Going to be tucked down below 500 HP as the Annihilator trying to cause more strain, and he's going to do just that. Strike's now down to a 1-shot. This could be great. This could open up that eastern village. There we go. Vorsic's going to find him. The LTTB kicking in towards that 5100 as now the Anatolish is out on his own. He's now left in an awkward predicament. The Annihilator playing outstanding. Back up on the way. Tornado.ROX are dealing the damage here, but they need to get that close down. They need to get that pressure constantly going. You cannot allow NaVi a second to breathe, so bring it back, but the Annihilator dragging them forward. Now look at these 2 tanks left. You've got Slide left, and you got Rhino up against so many. 5 tanks left here, but Slide gets away, slipping through those shots. And that 5100 last shell expelled now. Gonna go on that reload, and maybe they can close this out here, Tornado.ROX. Yeah, I think, you know, they are definitely in a great position. 5 versus 2. Slide doing the correct thing, though. Get out of an awkward position where he could be taken down by FC Dynamo and reloading. Slide needs to get that reload right now because you've got 3 tanks of Tornado.ROX which are 1-shots, and if you can find a couple and keep Rhino also alive, you know, get some good crossfire situation, NaVi still have a chance. You can see the HP on the left and right side of the 2 team logos is actually in favor of NaVi just slightly, but Rhino is out on his own.
but can they get the damage done? Let's see. On board with Slide, that 5100 was on reload, still is for a couple more seconds, but we've got the shells back ready and available. Bear in mind, ROX are low. Let's see what he can find here. Certainly aware. Their tanks are waiting, spots one out. Doesn't get the shot through perfectly, though. The opportunity here. Rhino's taking a bit of a beating. This could be trouble. Still 4 up for ROX. Rhino now going to be closed in on from the back. That's Vorsig doing the damage. And now it's just down to one man. He's got a lot of work on his hands and a lot of fire coming in. He knows he's in trouble. This could be the first round to Tornado.ROX. This could be massive. He does get down one, but this is going to be a battle and a half. Damage comes out. 3 more shells. Doesn't get the chance to go for it. This is dangerous.
Oh, he had to hit that shell against the Waffentrager. That would be fantastic 2 kills for Slide, but it won't be enough. 4-6 star player for Tornado.ROX does put the first round on the board towards them. Great round for them. And on the attacking side, no less.
That is absolutely massive for those boys. They needed that to start off. That's one way to shake those nerves straight off them. Perfect. Now NaVi have all the pressure. They're the ones who can't let this slip. Bearing in mind, Tornado.ROX, yeah, sure, they're up and coming. They did well on the online stages, but they can't let that slip. No way can they let this go against them. But NaVi lose that first round.
Yeah, I mean, NaVi really kind of got thrown off a guard there, because you could see the push from Levshar and Inspire at the beginning with the WZ131 and the T54 Lightweight onto, I think it was Positive. They did good damage at the beginning. They took down Positive, but Positive did a good amount of work, you know, getting as many shells as he could across. And then you had the LTTBs go in, take down Levshar, take down Inspire, and yeah, that was basically 2-for-1 exchange. And then you had Vorsig playing out of his mind. You have Diador playing well in that Waffentrager, and I think Tornado just playing aggressively, catching out NaVi's moves, and you know, taking them down systematically.
Really great start for Tornado.ROX, bearing in mind these guys have come into this as the severe underdogs. Only Ollie backing them. So,
Yeah,
so
buddy.
far, your prediction is going all right.
I think my prediction is going to be right, full stop.
Do you want to go on the analysis testing as well as casting? I don't know how much we can use
It's
you,
just
but
not enough Ollie to go around.
I think that's the biggest issue. I've never thought I'd say that in my life, but what can you do? NaVi now, let's see what they can do. They need to pick up that slack. They are known as the best team in the world. Regardless of certain events' outcomes, you can't deny how good these guys are. You could say Hellraisers are on par. You can see they go back and forward. You can say maybe your Virtus Pros, your teams like that are certainly up there. But by the longest time historically, they are the best team in the world. And so far, not the first start. Let's have a little look at the stats overall. The Annihilator and Vorsig, the 2 players that you mentioned, certainly did play well.
Yeah, the Annihilator
Considering
and
it's an LTTB.
IS-3, I mean, really great stuff from him. 10 shots, 2,584 damage, that's good stuff from him. The Anatolik trying to do a lot of work there, but obviously not enough. You know, you can't just have one player who's performing really well and have the rest of them not performing well at all. So you can see like Levshar at the beginning of that WZ131 did nothing. Kiriloid did very little as well in that LTTB, got taken down by the 2 LTTBs that pushed Inspire and Levshar. So I think, you know, a bit of gambling from Tornado.ROX, some great individual player skill. I mean, you have to say, you know, Annihilator coming from School Bus has just been getting better and better through the seasons.
100%.
Vorsig, amazing player from Season 1, you know, found a team which he can actually play well and be stable in, having been through Virtus Pro, having been through School Bus, and
It's
finally
nice
ending up in Tornado.ROX. It's great.
Yeah, and we're going to find out if they can keep it up going into round 2. These 2 teams do like to take their time. I'll give them that one thing. They like to, you know, make sure they're in the right mindset, and I think NaVi definitely need that reset now. To focus up here. Not going to be the walk in the park you may have imagined. If you look at the first set and thought, okay, well, that could be the closer game, I guess. Now, we are certainly seeing a challenge. Let's see if Tornado.ROX can keep this one up, though. It's all good and well doing it once. You've got to get this whole series under wraps. So we are back on the way. Of course, Tornado.ROX are still on the attacking side. NaVi still on the defensive. What do we make of these lineups?
So, double LTTB from NaVi. They haven't gone for the WZ131 this time. So obviously it didn't work out well for them, but they have another defensive side, and like a lot of teams, for instance, Cancel, picking the double LTTB definitely works out for them, the majority. I think, you know, the odds are in NaVi's favor. We rarely get to see, at least at this level, a double attacking win for a team, but first shell just bounces off the top of that WZ131. That's why you pick it up, and, well, Tornado get in position.
Yeah, dangerous as well. Last time they had to fight for this. Now it's been given over to them. I wonder if NaVi are going to push down later into this round. They might just play from that eastern village. Still have tanks split towards the north as well, the IS-3 and the 5100. However, Positive in the Annihilator last time had to work a little harder to get tucked in towards that southern side, but now they're going to get free range over this whole map. But so what's the initial plan here, and where do you think they're going to take it for Tornado.ROX as they are on the attack?
Well, Tornado.ROX have gone to that one line, that 0 line even, and that's a pretty standard thing. Zick has found a way through. He's just going to go and try and find as much as he can by the Armageddon slide.
Yeah, Slide's going for this one. How many shots do you have left? 3 still remaining. He's going to be hammering down the Armageddon, and this is just beautiful. Slide shell after shell. This should be decimated, and it is. There we go. Beautiful work from him. Just initially picking up such an advantage here for pretty much free. Nothing's really come back towards NaVi just yet. Bear in mind they've taken the touch of damage, but nothing to really write home about towards the bigger, more battle-ready tanks.
I love that Slide actually went for the turret shot in that last one. I mean, a really, really skilled player, probably the best player in the world, and just performing for his team, getting that first kill in the bag, and that's put NaVi firmly ahead. That IS3 was alone. I don't think Tornado really expected NaVi to rotate a lone 50-100, but you know, Slide is that lone wolf player.
He can be that confident when you're that good. That's the thing. Anyone else, that would almost be too much of a risk to go for, but why not? If you're that positive that you can take down anyone one-to-one skill, then go for it. And that's opened up so many other possibilities towards this map. Tornado.ROX are now pretty much backed into a corner. Yeah, I think Tornado.ROX just need to kind of recover from that situation. But, you know, having lost that to IS3, it does rely on NaVi making a mistake. vorsik's trying to find his way onto Slide. He definitely can. And if he does, it'll be another kill. But Positive takes a massive shell from the Anatolic there. The X commander for both Hellraisers and Unity, which was basically the same team. The Annihilator, though, finding a way, sneaking his way through, and might just go 1 vs 1 against Inspira. Oh, if he's not looking the right way, he certainly won't be. That's a great little snap, though, from the Annihilator, bringing turret back towards Inspira, 1-for-1 trade. But at the moment, you look at NaVi, they are just slowly but surely infiltrating throughout the map. We're seeing, once again, the 50-100 and the LTTB starting to go roaming towards that western side. That could start causing trouble, spreading throughout the map. Already looking to fold towards the Annihilator. 3 minutes and 50 seconds left for Tornado.ROX. It looks like this round should be in the hands of NaVi thus far. The Annihilator does manage to stay alive there. The Anatolic's not going to get the connection, but Levshar on the receiving end. And to be fair, the Annihilator handling this well. Yeah, but I mean, as soon as NaVi realizes that he's really unsupported apart from a low HP T54 lightweight, the Anatolic can just go for the exchanges, take him down, and of course the T54 lightweight has no chance against an IS3. So NaVi starting to tighten that net. They're winning the exchanges. They're taking Tornado.ROX down to a vulnerable amount of hit points, and you'll see them close in. Interesting thing, though, Tornado.ROX still struggling. They got the LTTP down south, that Waffentrager, which basically hasn't been in the game so far, played by, of course, Diador, is also going to be joining vorsik in support. vorsik going to be pretty spread out by Strike there. Neither hitting the shot on the cross. Going to adjust for each other. As 3 minutes remain here, Tornado.ROX are still on the attack. Down to 3.4k HP, NaVi leading with 6.6 in a far greater position, taking over map control, kind of splitting it in a polar aspect, but all the advantageous angles and positions are currently held by NaVi, so this is going to be a little bit harder for them to work on. Yeah, I think they're going to really struggle, but I don't see a way in here for Tornado.ROX. Nice little shell by onto Strike, the 12.8 doing good work. Obviously a very high DPM gun, unlike the 15cm just for the alpha damage. But one ball with Slide again in that same position, and you know, NaVi finding another angle onto an IS3. Yeah, and Slide last time had a great little go of this, and it looks like he's doing it again. Hammering it out, and there we go, closing it down. This guy is just phenomenally talented at this. He's found so many opportunities for his side, and now the Annihilator might be annihilated very soon. Here is Strike, and vorsik going backward and forward. vorsik does have the shell as a Strike. 1-to-1, 2 minutes left. vorsik could open up a small path here, and it's the Annihilator actually to take down Strike in the end. It looks like NaVi are just slowly but surely working down Tornado.ROX. Yeah, and interestingly, you know, Tornado.ROX, even though they probably lost this when Armageddon died, they aren't letting these games go for free. I think if you give NaVi just a complete 7-0 walkover, it definitely works in their favor in terms of momentum. So at least Tornado are showing them that they still are willing to fight when they're at a disadvantageous position. But Diador doing as much as he can, but he will fall to the Anatolic in the IS3, leaving just that T54 lightweight of the Annihilator. Yeah, and with all the will in the world and the skill, I know it's very much a done deal here. NaVi keeping 3.8k on their side, and Inspira will close it out. And NaVi pull it back 1-to-1. Slow and steady wins the race for them. No flashy plays, nothing crazy, just slow, methodical and rather crisp, to be fair. Not missing shots and playing just smart games.
Yeah, I mean, really an interesting move from NaVi with the half moon circle IS3. That's more normal, but you know, Slide just being that lone wolf, just traveling around the map, and you know, the AMX 5100 is a big tank. It's fast, but it's still very easy to catch out. It's a massive tank. It's a box. It's easy to hit. So it's definitely a ballsy move from Slide, but it works out for him. He finds the Armageddon even in an even slower tank, the IS3, and managed to take him down. And you know, once you've taken an IS3 for free at this level, there's just very little you can do to get into the game. And you know, NaVi just played it through, played it slowly, played it methodically, and Tornado.ROX had no chance.
No, but you know, it's 1-1 now, and the things I want to see more from Tornado.ROX. How much does attack and defense come into a game like this with these two players, you know, teams, excuse me, not players, at this caliber? Does it still account for much? Is there still meant to be, you know, a more favoured scoreline? Because so far it's 1-1, and both wins looked convincing for the side that won it.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. We often see when an attacking team wins, it's a very good game, and often, you know, gambling, catching the other team out by surprise is what wins it. But when you lose on the attack, you lose by like an absolute landslide. So
and
you can see Slide. Yeah, 2.7k, 1.5k of that was just at the beginning from that IS3 kill.
And he's just such a powerful individual. That's a big thing here. And yet then you look at NSS, for example, who also had very powerful individuals. Beowulf, for example, jumps to mind, who played very well in this tournament. You just see the difference between a player who can play within a lineup with talent and a player who just plays within him, you know, on his own in a way and does his own battles, but it doesn't necessarily supplement the win, which is where you see Slide just kind of literally falling into that role perfectly, really complementing the team well, and you just see it paying off dividend. But they're going to switch sides now. Do you think we're going to see NaVi struggle, or is this now them starting to roll, starting to get that form going?
Well, it's always very hard when you are on a big stage like this and, you know, you play the first round and you lose it. Yeah. We see it a lot of times, you know, with other teams, Kazna, Wombats, once they lose that first round, it just goes downhill from there. But NaVi has managed to cement themselves, and to be fair, it's easier on Ruinberg to cement yourself on the defensive side. But yeah, I mean, about 65% of the time we see the defender win on Ruinberg, and you know, it does kind of leave the door open for the attacking team to go, okay, we really need to do something interesting, something unusual, catch the other team on the rotate, which is why you really train the attack more than the defense. So I think NaVi's got something up their sleeves. They're going to pull something out, a joker. A bit kind of a wayward tactic here, but Tornado.ROX would have expected that, I guess, and you know, will be playing that kind of all-inclusive tactic where they have every angle covered.
Is that the addition of Diador, in your opinion? Do you think he's made that much of a big difference yet? Or how do you think he's kind of fallen into this lineup? Because we haven't seen much of him individually as such. It's more his kind of impact towards other players more than anything.
Well, Diador has always been a massive factor into Hellraisers. Yeah. I think what happened was that Diador and Lucikel kind of didn't stay in the lineup of Hellraisers for whatever reason. They were asked to leave or whatever, and they're obviously looking for new teams. Lucikel's actually a reserve for Tornado.ROX. But Diador's a massive factor. I mean, this is basically Diador versus NaVi, which has always been. I mean, they really are arch rivals on the European on the CIS cluster, and Tornado.ROX will be looking to fight them at the grand finals, I'm sure, if they do make it there as well. And you know, NaVi have so many points in the bag from that season 1 win that we'll almost certainly be seeing them at the season finals. So I mean, very interesting that Diador's joined the lineup. Also, another man we have to mention is, of course, FC Dynamo from Team Supreme. I mean, that guy's an absolute beast.
Huge. I was always a massive fan of him, even before he joined Supreme, if I'm honest. Who was it? Was it him and Phoenix who came across in the end? I'm trying to remember from the original teams. But big fan of him. Love the way he plays. I think he's got extraordinary amounts of talent as an individual. I was surprised that he didn't stick around with Supreme, but that's the way it goes. But still, I'm looking forward to this ROX lineup. I think, you know, they looked strong before, and now they've gone massive.
Yeah, I think, you know, Tornado.ROX just were a good receptacle for a lot of the players from Hellraisers. That's the thing at the end of the day. We have to see how they gel together. So far, it looks good. I would like Diador in my lineup. I'm not sure what he's like as a guy, but he seems to be a good team leader.
See, that's the thing. It's you don't get the impression of how these players are, you know, or how they interact with each other. Of course, NaVi have stayed fairly true to themselves. They've kept a fairly similar kind of roster of players. They don't switch and change. There's maybe some small changes here and there, you know, historically, but very much been the core lineup for quite some time, but then you look at other teams and you think, well, this guy seems very talented. You're kind of curious as to why he's not picked up or why he's had to change lineups, and you kind of have to think maybe it's that side of things, because you are talking a hell of a lot with these guys. You are, you know, traveling together, basically living together half the time as well. So, you know, there's a lot of time spent here. So, curious to see how these guys gel together on Tornado.ROX, because on paper, that is a very big lineup.
Yeah, huge lineup, just unbelievable. I mean, kind of like an amalgamation of many teams, but the best players from many teams. So I think they can be a serious threat. They're kind of like a dream team. I think a lot of people in the World of Tanks esports scene said they are a dream team, and they could do some real damage. They could potentially be even a winner here, and you know, with a little bit more time to get together and glue together, they can actually be the grand finals winner potentially, or at least a real serious contender.
Yeah, certainly. I do believe there was just a small issue there with Slide's PC, I think it was. So hopefully we'll be starting soon. Apologies for the wait once again. I know you guys like to see these games back to back, but the players like to take their time. It's not us. We don't want to talk to you more about nothing. We want to talk about the game, but you know, we've got to chill it out and wait, just like you guys. So NaVi, hopefully, with the newly found time taken, they can get themselves started in this one and get themselves ready to go in towards the second half here of map 1. Anyway, looks as though we are almost ready to start this one up. Players just making those final adjustments, getting focused up for round 3 here. As currently we are sat at 1-1. First round picked up by Tornado.ROX, second by NaVi. Let's see if it's going to go back and forward, or will NaVi break ahead?
Yeah, NaVi really are on the defense, so they got their back to the walls just straight off the bat. But again, I think NaVi are such a superb team. They train a lot, they practice a lot, and they're the ones who can, you know, really dial a tactic in like we've never seen before. They're the innovators, you know, the guys everyone's looking to, the guys that everyone's saying, okay, we need to copy what they're doing, practicing what they're doing for the last 4 years they've been together. And, you know, another thing we haven't mentioned so far, Rhino's here, unlike the grand finals, which of course Angel Killer took his place.
Very good point there, and we are seeing a very quick move from NaVi. Kyriloid is going straight up towards that northern side. He's going to put himself out there as that tasty, tasty piece of bait, and he knows he's going to take a beating from this one. Somehow he's still alive. I don't know how. Do not tell me why, but he's sticking this one out. How the hell was he staying alive that long? Positive finally takes him down, but while this happened, that T-54, that 1390, has made it up towards that northeastern village, and now we're going to see the real challenge.
But that's an unbelievable shooting there from Tornado.ROX. I mean, Kyriloid obviously wanted to join his 2 light tanks there. He didn't, and it's going to be more damage from Tornado. 3
more shots to be making 2. This is going to be a real dangerous situation coming out here. And I think that's positive we're on board with right now. He's going to be right in the thick of things. Gets taken down. And NaVi are actually struggling a little bit here HP-wise, 4.7k. But those IS-3s are in the cap. Inspirer going blow for blow with the Annihilator and Vorsic. The Armageddon, though, folding in towards it. And they're sliding in the background. Keep that in mind. 30 seconds on this. But the Armageddon is getting there. Vorsic not going down either. Can he take down Inspirer? Can he open up another path for Tornado.ROX? Or is it down to the Armageddon to get this one?
The Armageddon does get it.
Brilliant stuff. Comes around, takes down Inspirer, and now can deal with those IS-3s. They're forced to make the move. Look at those shots coming through. Tornado.ROX are playing this well.
So much damage going towards NaVi. The pressure is just insane. Double the amount of HP for Tornado.ROX after that first kill onto Kyriloid, and more kills come out. The Annihilator takes down the Anatolish, and you know, Tornado.ROX have such good turret positions.
They're perfect right now. They shouldn't lose this one. NaVi are on the back foot of Shah and Rhino. The only 2 alive, and we might see Tornado.ROX taking the lead here. Rhino does take on 1, but FC Dynamo quickly avenging his teammate, and now Rhino 1v4 down to nothing. Tornado.ROX can be proud of this round. This was a real display of their talent here. Rhino's going to down, but it's all said and done. FC Dynamo needs to hit 1 shot. Fluffs it. And now we're going to get a couple more awkward seconds of Rhino trying to stay alive here. I think he knows, oh, this is not good. But there we go. The close down comes in from the Armageddon. And it will be a 2-1. Tornado.ROX starting to warm up here. Guys, they're fighting NaVi right now. You need to be louder than this for these boys. They are working their asses off at the moment. And that was a close round, but it seemed as though they knew exactly what they were doing.
Yeah, they knew, or at least had the positions to take care of NaVi, who were pushing up north. Maybe they looked to line up, saw the light tanks, and managed to take them out. Of course, you know, that kill onto Kyriloid, similarly when Sly took down the Armageddon, you lose a light tank right at the beginning, you lose a tier 8 tank right at the beginning, it's almost certainly going to be game over. And I think, you know, Kyriloid getting double tracked, unfortunate, it does happen, but it was just a killing blow for NaVi. And even if Kyriloid had managed to get himself in with the other light tanks of NaVi that made it towards the houses, it still would have been a pretty hard, tricky fight for them. But yeah, great play by the Tornado.ROX boys. got the decaps, got the damage, and just played it really cool.
They really did. I'm gotta say it. If this goes 3-1, I do not know what to make of this. Still one more round on this map. Tornado.ROX so far finding some extraordinary form. Somehow they've gotten hold of the NaVi playbook and just run with it. They're reading that page to page. They're just having a great little, catch up. Maybe just sitting in the bath, relaxing with a glass of wine, having a little read of the NaVi book. Like, this is great. That's a really nice tactic on Ruinberg. Let's just get ready for that because we know how it's done. This is always the theory, though, isn't it? When you're one of the top teams in the world, let's say, or the top team in the world, everyone looks to you. Everyone's going to look at what you're doing.
Yeah.
So eventually, everyone works it out. But Tornado.ROX have done their homework, and they look far different than the offline finals we just had.
Yeah, I think that's definitely something we could say safely, and it's also about the preparation for the tournament. I mean, the replays, who you've trained against makes a big difference. So if Tornado.ROX managed to get their hands on some of the NaVi replays from their training battles,
definitely,
or managed to get some screenshots or whatever, some positions, some interesting stuff, like that tactic which NaVi just used pushing up north, maybe Tornado.ROX already knew about. So it's really important things before the tournament even happens that really make a massive, massive difference. And you've got to pick your training partners very carefully. And it's almost like a tactical, political game you play.
It is. How much do you want to show?
First few weeks.
Exactly.
Exactly.
There's so much to be read into this, but we are live into the final round of the first map. Will it be 2-2? Or Tornado.ROX make it 3-1? Against NaVi, bearing in mind, these are the big dogs right here. And if NaVi don't make it to the finals, I do not know what to think of things. But so far, Tornado.ROX are giving them a hell of a game. So what do we see so far?
So we've got a very heavy lineup from Tornado.ROX with the IS-3s, 4 of them, and a 5100, an LTTP and a WZ131. So pretty heavy with a couple of scouts to supplement that, a little bit of ability to flex around the map. And NaVi with the MX-1390s are kind of a mainstay for that team. They have a very skilled player lineup, so they can actually use the MX-1390s more effectively than most people. Kiriloid does receive the first damage in the IS-3 down up to almost exactly half HP, and that's going to put the pressure on NaVi straight away. But it's not a crucial amount, and NaVi can still win.
Yeah, Zik just looking out, trying to find any opportunity possible. Start edging forward. Not too much done thus far. NaVi, as you said, trailing slightly. Kiriloid did get that initial damage, and he's had a real unlucky game, to be fair, so far. He's been struggling, especially after that last round, but there we go. Zik somehow staying alive while surrounded. There are 3 players right next to this guy, and there we go, finally. Inspire going to try and even the odds. Not going to have much luck on it. Zik somehow dodging these shells. Slide not even going to connect on that one. This is a very tentative game from NaVi.
Yeah, and also from Tornado. I mean, Tornado going forwards, getting the spots onto NaVi, basically delays NaVi for a little bit, and then going backwards. So I think Tornado are playing for the clock, basically trying to work it down as much as possible. And NaVi are trying to find a win. You can see the MX-1390 down in F1. Obviously got options towards K9 and also going up towards the northern area. So I think NaVi's just waiting for their moment to spring to go forwards, trying to do a little bit of peak damage. I mean, they know that they have to get a couple of shots onto the Tornado boys before they can actually go in. So that AMX-1390 does start to head up north, and I think that'll be a good move. You got 5100 up there, you got an IS-3 up there as well, but there's definitely ways to work around those.
Zik looked a little shocked then as Slide did manage to crest slightly, get a shot in. Now Zik is down to a 1-shot, 121 HP here. Not in the best position. You can see the fire coming in. He is dodging it well so far, and eventually it was inevitable. If Shah will catch him out at 12T. NaVi now have a small advantage to work with. Small.
Great little position there by left Shah and that MX-12T to take down Zik. That's enough of an advantage for NaVi to walk away with and just win the round. That K0 line, very, very important. You can see Tornado.ROX realizes that.
Wow,
and they are just going towards into that half moon circle with the faster tanks, the LTTP and the MX-5100, trying to work their way behind NaVi.
This is a dangerous move. That LTTB is going to be in a world of trouble if they do not time this right. But you can see everyone's starting to move in towards position. The alarm's going to start ringing. as NaVi starting to make their play. But here we go. Great little initial work for 5100, just backing him up here. The IS-3 is going to take a couple of shells. Nice work coming in. Down to around half. That looked like team damage almost coming through. And look at this play coming out. That IS-3 is on the run. I believe that's Rhino about to get caught out. Shot on the fly going to come in. He does get the hit. He needs one more to take him down. Going to wait for the moment. Does get it. Delivers. Rhino now gone. Can Tornado.ROX close this one down? NaVi are trailing. Strike is trying to hold on to this. But you can see the battle being won out by Tornado.ROX here. They're focusing down towards Strike. Vorsic and Positive roaming as this squad, looking to do the damage, and Vorsic just leading the way. This guy is out for blood. He wants to prove a point, and he's got the perfect place to do it. Great work from Vorsic coming through. 4 players left standing, make it 3. NaVi are falling at the wayside. This is not what you expect to see coming to these events. They are the giants, they are the champions, and right now they are being broken down towards tiny pieces. As only Anatolish Slide make it just Inspire, and Anatolish now up against so many of Tornado.ROX.
FC Dynamo just trying to do as much as he can, does good damage, and well, only a couple of tanks left for NaVi, trying to work their way back into this game, but Tornado.ROX are blowing them away.
They're going for this one, and you cannot blame them. It's down to one man. Inspire is going to have to live up to that name, and right now he's out of shells, out of options, and Tornado.ROX have 5 players closing in. This is going to be a 3-1 scoreline. NaVi on to their last legs here. This is outstanding from those boys who crumbled, let's say, at the EU finals. Now they look so good.
They look unbelievable. I mean, this dream team is really coming together well. Inspire left on his own in that MX-1390.
And here we go, Inspire being just pushed from pillar to post. He knows he's in trouble, and there we go. That's Tornado.ROX taking down NaVi 3-1. What on earth are we seeing here, Ollie? This is unbelievable.
Especially on Ruhenberg. I mean, an attacking round, a defensive round, and then another attacking round. Great stuff from 2 defensive rounds for Tornado.ROX. Just amazing. I have to say the best quality from Tornado.ROX is just that playing NaVi at their own game. NaVi caught out that IS-3, and then Tornado.ROX with that push around the side with the MX-5100 and the LTTB. You can see Strike there on your screens just lying as far back as those chairs will allow him, pretty upset with himself. And I just think, again, that quick reaction, there's really fast movement, and Tornado.ROX just knowing that if they do lose those objectives, they have to move off them and they have to try from a different angle.
Just brilliant play from them, and I honestly, I just want to get towards that next map. I just want to find out what's going to go on. Bearing in mind, Himmelsdorf will be the next map. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's find out how much humble pie that analysis desk is going to have to eat. Dorjan, how's it feeling over there, buddy?
In the world, I think my 5-0 to NaVi is not coming true. I would like to say I was at least close, but the answer is no. Some of you are still in it. I think you said 5-3.
NaVi is going to win the next 4 rounds, and I'm going to be right again. I can see it happen.
Okay. Let's analyze those matches we just saw, though. Rasta, this is your department. Take us through the first battle.
In the first battle, Tornado.ROX was attacking. They were going through the middle with actually with every tank. They went through the middle into the cap. They had one IHM Waffenträger sniping from the middle, which is you have a really great spot. It's a sort of ramp that you can drive up, and then you can like shoot on the entire field. He was also doing quite some damage from there. They were going with the 3 IS-3s like all the way up the middle road into the village, and from there they kind of dominated NaVi together with the 2 LTTBs who went into the cap and then fought the flanking lights of NaVi. NaVi actually tried to encircle them, but they kind of failed with that. They lost too much HP in my opinion, and that's why I think they lost in the end.
Alright, well we can see this all happening on screen with a quick replay. So we're going to take you into the action and see, well, visually see exactly what happened. So, okay, this is actually on the 4th battle.
Yeah.
We've gone straight to the 4th battle here, so we can actually talk about
see
the 4th battle.
Vorsic doing some really nice shots here. He's like flanking from behind. That's how you have to play the LTTB. You cannot pan front, so you have to go from the
It was from 2 sides at the same time. You had the 5100 and the LTTB coming over the AB line, and at the same time they had all their IS-3s on the middle road. So the only thing ROX wanted to do is kill those 2 IS-3s in the middle. They knew they were there, so they got 4 tanks to kill 2 guys, and after that Strike tried to do something, but there was just too much HP left on Tornado.ROX and too little tanks to do anything about it in the 4th game.
Right, well, we've seen how our predictions are a bit shaky right now with a 5-3 is the only one still in it, I believe. Or did anyone say 5-4? Did anyone say that?
No, I said 5-3.
5-3, 5-2, 5-1, 5-1, 5-0. So we're all a bit shaky, but you at home, did anyone even remotely get close to this so far?
Well, still 81% going strong for Natus Vincere, and currently, if I have a quick scroll through the predicted score lines, I only see 5-2, 5-3, 5-1, 5-2. So barely, 19% are only predicting a win for Tornado at this moment. It of course can change. People, you still have time to vote. As soon as we head into the second map, the vote will close down. So you have barely a few seconds, maybe minutes left. So get over to facebook.com/WGLEU and get involved. And also there are different votes and contests going on. Don't forget our Rumble raffle.
And the camo.
And the camo.
Actually, I didn't look at the camo for this one. How is it looking?
Pretty good. The NaVi one is like really yellow and black. It actually, that one looks really sweet. The one from ROX is also pretty cool, but I kind of just prefer the one from NaVi, to be completely honest. I like the yellow and black. It looks really good, especially on the IS3s. It looks actually really good.
And people at home love it. So people, there is still a vote going on. You can win awesome prizes by simply participating in that team camo vote. And currently, over 80% just want to play with it right away, if it would be possible.
I would love that. If it could either be based on your logo colors or something like that, it would be fantastic. I would absolutely adore to see that myself. But I was actually eating the last break, so I didn't actually see it. So I can't wait to see how the camo looks in the next battle that's coming up right now. So it's time for your casters to take you into this battle to see if NaVi can recover or if they're going out of this battle. Anyway, you guys take it away.
Thank you guys on the desk, and of course Melly bringing us up with the social media and what you guys have been voting on. And the team camo is something we haven't actually mentioned that much. It does look pretty damn good, I'm not going to lie.
I want to see one of the Chasm ones. I mean, we'll get to see that later on the show match.
Well,
it looks pretty fantastic as well.
It's nice to see they actually finally made it to an offline event. Even if it's just in a show match, love them deep down, it's fine. Anyway, we need to focus back on this, because this is something unbelievable. This is something that is a rarity, and I don't think we are saying it enough, that someone beating NaVi on a stage like this is unreal, absolutely unreal. And at the moment, 3-1 is a very deciding scoreline. But then we need to take into account Himmelsdorf. This is very, very, very much a NaVi stronghold.
Yeah, I mean, NaVi have got like an 80% win ratio in the regular season on this map. They're just unbelievable on this map from the very beginning. And, Nanas has said at the beginning, the Russian teams are just formidable on Himmelsdorf. It suits their play style down to a T. Very logical, limited amount of positions you can come from. You can train it to death, basically.
Yep.
And NaVi's just got so much experience on it. They hadn't played it that much in the regular season. I think it was their third or fourth most played map.
Yep.
So it's not like they've got like a lot of fresh memories of Himmelsdorf, a lot of hard rounds last season, but they've got enough in the repertoire to actually come back from a 3-1 deficit. So Tornado.ROX need to make sure that they don't let that slip.
Yeah, exactly. Tornado.ROX are going to have to keep that pressure up, bearing in mind. Is there anything we can see interesting about these lineups, or is this a standard kind of way in towards Himmelsdorf that we'd expect?
I mean, you've got the T54 Lightweight, which is very normal for NaVi as a CIS team. A lot of flexible ability around the map. You can head up the hill. MX-12T, which gives NaVi the ability on the attack to go into cap number 1, and Dido playing that Waffentrager. Another tank we see fairly often on Tornado.ROX's team. So at the beginning, it's just going to be a matter of NaVi making sure that Tornado.ROX is going to do a weird push on the defensive side, see if they can get any early damage, which they have done, onto Zik and the MX-12T, and just playing for the time right now. They've got plenty of time to do whatever they want on, and you can see NaVi on K2, K3. Looks like they want the left side.
I'm interested to see how NaVi play into this one, because they have started out on the attack. Rhino is going to find Zik pretty early on. But yeah, starting out on the attack with a disadvantage. If Tornado.ROX win this, remember, they'll go on to match point, basically. They'll get themselves one round away from a victory. So it has to be a tentative play from NaVi. They've got to be fairly calculated in this, and Diodor's the one waiting. This would be massive. If they do make that play up, the 1-2, maybe to 3 line, Diodor will be the one to be doing a hell of a lot of damage. Already up on that hill, 5100, just keeping tabs across, and I'm not surprised we're seeing this kind of caution coming out on Himmelsdorf. It's very rarely ever been a quick map unto itself, but with so much on the line, you can imagine why, and it does seem as though that Borsig has been spotted out. That's Diador's position truly noted.
Yeah, and one of the things which you might not realize about the Borsig is actually he's got great camo factor. It's very small, very low profile. It's a tank destroyer, so Diador and the Anatolik are only like 300 meters away from each other, 250 meters, and it took Diador to shoot for the Anatolik to actually spot him. So Diador can be kind of like a stealthy ninja, just doing great damage against the pushing NaVi, and he started off well with 500. So NaVi obviously wanting that west side, they kind of committed to that. Anatoly can't really get out of that position right now. So obviously you'll see Levshar push up in their MX-12T, sit himself behind that building in the cap and just force Tornado.ROX to make the next move.
Yeah, and Levshar has been taken fairly low doing this, but it's not the odd. He can still serve his purpose to some degree, force them to then commit further down that 1 to 3 line. Strike going to be trying to find Diador here, but Diador well positioned, tucking himself away, yet to receive any damage. And bear in mind, we are seeing the counterplay coming out. Tornado.ROX are sending those 5100s down the 8 line. Maybe we're going to look for that pick up onto the IS-3 here. And so far, Tornado.ROX are keeping NaVi at bay.
They certainly are, and you know, Vorsik and Positive are going to be the two biggest factors here for Tornado. If they do their job and don't get spotted too early on, they're going to do some serious damage.
Let's remember, they were the LTTB and 5100 combo on Ruinberg that was massive. If they find that synergy again, they're going to have a great bit of sway here, but Inspire is waiting just around that corner. 60 seconds remain. NaVi starting to move up. The Annihilator has found Levshar. Here comes the play. Positive's going to put himself out as bait. They get the one-shot exchange, but now the game is certainly up. They know the position, and they can back away. They don't need to outstay their welcome.
That's great play there by NaVi. They've actually caught Tornado.ROX by surprise as two 5100s have to back off. They can't push forward.
Who's this? How has Slide got here? Slide has literally slipped in between all of them. He's right down the middle, and they have no idea. This is brilliant stuff. He's just come off the hill, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to get some free damage done. Going to be focusing down towards the Armageddon. It seems 2 shots coming in, looking for his third now. He's still got 3 shells to make. This could be beautiful. Again, such an individual turret of a player, but those 5100s split up early. He's got to be careful. Going to try and make it across. Goes for the cheeky play. He's looking so dangerous right now. He's going to go in for it. He does have 1 shot. He gets it. That's beautiful stuff coming out from this man, but he is on reload, and he is vulnerable.
I mean, Slide just makes so many good decisions. He's just an unbelievable player, probably the best player in the world, and that says something. You know, you got the likes of Elian to really contend with as well. So great play by him, finds a 5100. That's got NaVi in a good position, but still Tornado.ROX are leading by some considerable amount of HP. Just the tanks are lacking.
But then imagine if you removed what Slide just did. That'd be a very different picture. The landscape would change, but Tornado.ROX are still sculpting this themselves. Diador has the opportunity down that 1 line with the IS-3, looking for the Anatolich, who's tucked into cover just. 2 minutes left. United moving forward. Slowly but surely, Tornado.ROX are regaining control here, and NaVi are getting damage done. Inspire has got the Armageddon to deal with. Armageddon's a little low. He's not in the best spot here. The Inspire could take him down, and he does so. Now, the big man himself is back on the plate. Slide still in the action, has shells to make, and look at him. He just doesn't miss. I swear to God, this guy is a human aimbot, but he finally gets put down as Tornado.ROX start taking the lead.
Yeah, Vorsik had the hit points lead there, and it was simple stuff from him once he got the ram. Vorsik took him down to 1 shot, and Slide had no chance. But FC Dynamo, it's taken out by the Anatolik, and I have to say, you know, Diador isn't doing much for his team. He was trying to keep the Anatolik at bay, but that Waffentrager just couldn't do much, since FC Dynamo was an easy target. But Rhino had to go.
But NaVi have brought this back into touching distance, but to some small degree. They need some defining play. Inspire is going to kick that off. Vorsik going to be found in the 5100. Now 3 players remain. 1 minute and 10 seconds. Tornado.ROX are on the defense. They just need to play smart and stay alive. NaVi looking for more. Diador not going to get the shot. Soaks 1 up. This is getting dangerous. The Annihilator going to receive 1 as well. This is not a safe game for anyone at the moment, and still Tornado.ROX are pushing the point here. The Annihilator wants this shot. The Anatolich might have a shell just by the time he crests this corner, but the Annihilator should have this in the bag. He does get the shot off there, keeping this in range for Tornado.ROX, and now 3v3.
3 versus 3 is back on all even Stevens, and I think, you know, at the end of the day, it's going to be about Diador again. He's got to be keeping the rest of his team alive as they're all 1-shots, and he does have a good angle here onto the IS-3.
He does at least get the shot in, just about avoiding the second fire coming back. He goes back for more. Everyone's so low. Diador is the defining point. 1 second, he has another shell to be made. Back onto the plate. Rhino takes down 1. Gets the shot, though. That's what I'm talking about coming through. Inspirer goes down. Annihilator will find Kiriloid. And now I believe we're down to a 2v1.
Yeah, 2 versus 1 situation, and this might be a 1 versus 1. It will be Tornado.ROX to put another one on the board, coming back from a deficit. And what do you believe? 4-1 scoreline. They're on match point.
This is unbelievable. Ladies and gents, you are seeing a upset and a half. 4-1 right now in favor to Tornado.ROX. Coming out against NaVi. No one on the desk believed this would happen. Even you didn't say to this degree. But my God, this is perfect play from them. And on Himmelsdorf, bearing in mind, this is a massive map.
Unbelievable. I mean, you have to consider this as well. At some points, NaVi was ahead. They were the better team in some points. And it took a miracle and some great play from Tornado.ROX to come back and actually win that game. Shout out to Diador, 3,200 damage I believe he did in that game. And there was some points where I was like, you know, Diador, he wasn't playing aggressively enough, he wasn't going towards.
He was quite far back, he was,
But it's worked out perfectly, and you could see that. I think that was Kyriloid in the IS3 that was poking against Diador. Kyriloid had HE loaded, which is a smart move from him. But the thing is about HE, it doesn't travel through objects. Like AP, you can shoot through a car, you can shoot through a fence. So that HE shell could have done like 500 damage, but it got caught up on the fence, which is like a next level set of positions there for Diador, and you can see how much he did in that game. And, you know, really an influential player.
Yeah, and a quick mention, I believe it's 1-2-3-4 game actually did win that 10k gold in Twitch chat. So keep spamming the Kappas, 1-2-3s, Ailamau, do what you want, just be involved. Wow. But no, do spam away in chat, do get involved, do, you know, encourage good discussion. I don't do that, but you could win gold from it, so maybe you should. It's up to you guys. Keep Melly busy. She'll thoroughly appreciate it. Anyway, enough of that. We have the big moment to look forward to. It's 4-1. Tornado.ROX are on match point against NaVi. This will be the biggest comeback I'd ever see if it happens, but wow, this is just going to be unbelievable.
Here's the thing. I mean, it's a single elimination one-day tournament. Best of 9 in the semi-finals. Best of 13 in the finals. So this is the kind of thing that can happen. Tornado.ROX are ready and they're prepared for NaVi. And it seems to be working out perfectly for them. They're playing individually very well. They're catching NaVi by surprise. NaVi are making mistakes across the board. Only really Slide picking up the gauntlet for his team. And yeah, I mean, 1 round away now for Tornado.ROX to progress to fight Wombats.
Slide is playing out of his mind. He's taking one-on-one challenges you just do not see. It's like he's playing a different game. But the rest of his team, they ain't around. So, all right, guys, let's get ready for this. Will Tornado.ROX close this out at a 5-1 scoreline? That's what I want you to be answering in chat right now. NaVi have a hit, just a mountain to climb, let alone a hill. And they're going right into it. They are on the attack once again. Tornado.ROX on the defense. What do we see so far?
Well, NaVi are actually pushing the hill, and they got the double 5100. I think there's an IS3 in there as well, and an MX-12T. But a T-54 lightweight even, but good spot here by Levshar, really finding where Tornado.ROX are going at this early stage, and you know, this might be NaVi just pushing him and catching them out as they do try and get an awkward position.
Here we go. This is NaVi taking control of the situation for once. They are actually playing that more aggressive game, being the aggressors. And we are going to be seeing Kyriloid and Rhino holding that 8 line, but while this happens, look to the horizon. Slide, Strike, Anatolish, Inspirer, all heading down that 0 line. They want to get the pressure on here, collapse towards Tornado.ROX.
A very aggressive move here for NaVi. I mean, really unusual for them. I think they might be able to do it because they did manage to get the early spots, and Tornado.ROX aren't in good positions.
Positive's called out. He's on his own here, and look at this. Kyriloid and Rhino going in for it, but look at FC Dynamo and Vorsic. They're ready to green the doorway. Kyriloid gets sent packing. Positive still alive for now. Not for long, though. Inspirer will find him. Now, 4 tanks staring down 2, but the choke point is going to start hurting. Vorsic can't come out on top in this one, but round the back, look who's falling behind them. This is dangerous. NaVi have tanks behind them and in front. This has backfired terribly. Now Tornado.ROX need to do the damage. They need to come back into this. Zik, though, on the receiving end. Armageddon denies Rhino. And now we're finding the fight is really coming through. Can Levshar stay alive? Can Strike get the damage? Slide comes into the action. The Armageddon needs to be pivotal. The Anatolish has found the Annihilator. NaVi are not going down without a fight. They are turning up, ladies and gents, taking the aggressive position and taking this round.
Such great focus from NaVi. That's really what they're known for. That's their key to success in many of these games. And such an amount of aggression managed to catch Tornado.ROX by surprise. The Armageddon died or left. And I think a really interesting flank from Tornado.ROX. Just didn't quite do enough to take down NaVi as their pure focus fire just absolutely obliterates Tornado.ROX and keeps them in the game.
NaVi picking up the pace there, just saying, all right, we've had enough of this. if we can't beat you tactically because you know everything we're doing, we'll go back to basics and we will just play you 1-to-1. Great stuff from them, showing that there is such talent there in that side. And even though that split did look a little dangerous from Tornado.ROX around the back, I think it was the Annihilator or the Armageddon, I think it was actually flanking through. Didn't manage to pull anything out of that, and Na'Vi keep it under wraps. But the thing is, can they do that again? Could they truly be that aggressive again? That's the big question.
Well, it was an aggression, but a controlled aggression, because
True.
you had Left Shard going forwards up the 8 line, which is not entirely usual. Predicting well that, you know, Tornado.ROX might be going up the hill, finds positive straight away, and that allows Na'Vi to push off the hill, and that allows those IS3s to push up the 8 line. So, I mean, really interesting stuff from Na'Vi. They knew that they would really have to pull out all the stops, basically, against Tornado.ROX if they do want to win, and they do want to get themselves back onto some sort of even scoreline.
I think the cameraman passed out then, he's so shocked.
I think, yeah, I know, I think he had a little bit of a...
had a funny turn.
A bit too much Kellogg's this morning, but yeah, I think a great step here, and it really does say something. When you're on match point and you go aggressive, that shows that you're a team that's still in the game, still willing to fight, still you know, conscious that you can win.
It's never over when you're NaVi, that's the thing. I can't stress it enough here. These guys are just unbelievable, but we've just not seen them today. They had, what, one good round in them, literally the only round they got. Outside of that, Tornado.ROX have run away with it, and while we wait for the teams to prepare themselves, Strike actually having a big impact into that round actually himself.
Yeah, I mean, the interesting storyline for Strike is that, you know, he was the father, the kind of mentor figure for Slide. A long time, he was the guy doing the most damage. Slide was the kind of up-and-coming hip kid, and then it's really done the switcheroo and Slide's above him. So when Strike does have a good game, it's great to see, and he's playing the T-54 lightweight. It's not supposed to be the damage dealer on Himmelsdorf, but he was playing super aggressively, being the awkward guy, and, you know, finding so many kills there. So great game by Strike to be the thorn inside for Tornado.ROX.
Considering how frustrated he looked at the start, I think it was in between map 1 and 2. Good to see him finding a little bit of form there, certainly helping him out. But still, not long left to go on this until we get underway again. Tornado.ROX just in the last couple of moments before we started up, and the man you said, the young protege himself, looking very focused. You can see these guys are no strangers to predicaments like this. They've had to overcome harder situations, but once again, cameraman, just too many shandies. Too many shandies. So, Na'Vi looking ready to go, and there we go. We are live into the game, ladies and gents, once again back into the fray. Tornado.ROX are on match point. Na'Vi need 2 rounds back-to-back to even bring it up to a possibility.
Yeah, but Na'Vi on the defensive side, the easier side on Himmelsdorf, and, you know, pretty much unbeaten. This is their favorite side. They got 83% win ratio on this one. So I think Na'Vi has a good chance to pick up the next 2 rounds if they play some good, solid defensive World of Tanks. But the 8 line isn't where they're going. The 1 to 3 is. So they're going to go for some early spots. Pretty standard for a lot of teams. And Left Shard, again, playing those awkward spotting positions, trying to get the 8 line. And this has really been a universal tactic on this map since the very beginning. You need to get that 8 line under control, at least spot it at the beginning to thwart off any kind of crazy attack.
Yeah, and no one's really taken that yet either. They're taking their time fairly reserved coming out from Tornado.ROX. Just sitting at the bottom of that 8 line, just waiting for any moves to come out. And they are looking hesitant themselves here. They're looking like, okay, Na'Vi's starting to wake up. Maybe we need to slow down ourselves, think about the options before we do it. And it's like a late cross maybe coming in towards that 8 line.
Yeah, they've got the 5100s on the hill with the light tanks. That light tank's heading off now. The MX-12T, of course the T-54 lightweight will stay up there. It's the guy that really has to go behind, flank, do some damage from behind. But Tornado.ROX starting to head away from that 8 line. Maybe aware that Left Shard and that MX-12T will spot them, and to be fair, if Left Shard does spot them, they'll be at the point of no return, and surely Na'Vi will be able to pick up the win unless they really do screw up. 12T of Zik, MX-12T heading down towards the K3-4 area, is going to spot Slide potentially, and Na'Vi really have all the bases covered. They know with a 12T that Zik is a danger to them, a threat to them towards that 1 cap, so they kind of want to control it, and then at the same time have enough tanks back to be able to say, okay, we want to return to the 2nd cap.
Yeah, good work from Zik then. It's a little bit of information and we'll back away. Doesn't get too damaged from this one.
He should have been dead because Strake missed that first round. You always want to be hitting that first round, and you know, with only 600 HP, average damage on the MX 5100 is 300.
So while this happens, we are going to see that cross being spotted out. FC Dynamo does make it through unscathed. Now we're getting a little cautious to make that cross there, and the Annihilator now joining. Well worried, as we do know that 12T of Shah is keeping tabs on this one, and down the end, Anatolich will be holding that D3 area. They are lining up for this. And what's the plan here for Tornado.ROX?
Well, they're just trying to go towards cap number 2. Oh, that's a big crushing blow there, because Zik was trying to head back and actually get into cap number 2 and have the IS3s defend him. But now that's not happened. Oh, but the Anatolich just peaks and gets punished.
1.2k towards the Anatolich. That has got to hurt. He tried to make a little bit of a peek. He tried to get some information, but just gets shredded down to 284 damage. FC Dynamo doesn't hit it on the way out, but he will get his team across. Now we're seeing that fold towards the northern cap, but Inspirer going to be in a good position here, but Diador did take a little damage on the way through.
Yeah, Diador got shot from behind. There's actually a lot of tanks from Tornado.ROX down south. But Inspiring onto Vorsic, and I think, Tornado are slightly segregated, but NaVi have to be careful.
Yeah, they are slightly dispersed here, but you can see the battle kicking off towards that northern cap as Slide is outnumbered, outgunned, and out of options. Now the cap has begun. They've started to clean out that real northern side, and it's retake time for NaVi.
And NaVi has 1,400 more hit points, but they have so much ground to cover from the kind of middle of the map up towards the north. They only have a few tanks in kind of outward positions. You got the IS3 and C3, so it's going to be a concentrated, concerted push onto 1 point on Tornado.ROX's cap.
20 seconds left, and it looks like they've made up their mind. They're going straight up that 6 line. They're going to be heading straight in towards these, but the IS3s are on the other side. They're positioned well. There's a good crossfire as well. This could be dangerous here. We go. Kirilloid Inspirer strike. The damage first gets done, but the Annihilator takes 1. Inspirer is heading straight through. 9 seconds left. The resets are coming in. Diador and FC Dynamo. The damage has to come out now. Where's the damage from Tornado.ROX? There we go. The Annihilator finds strike, but this is still up in the air.
Unbelievable. So much damage just getting bounced from Diador. I'm so surprised that these NaVi players aren't performing right now, and Tornado.ROX on the precipice.
They could do this right here, right now. Down to 2 players. NaVi might just lose out to Tornado.ROX, who have so many players alive. Rhino and the Anatolich trying to hold on here. Rhino pinned in. FC Dynamo's there. The Annihilator's there. Vorsic wants it. He's got no time left. There we go. Vorsic claims Rhino, and it's down to 1 man. The Anatolich holding on for NaVi, but I think he knows this one is a done deal. Can you believe it? NaVi have fallen at the hands of Tornado.ROX, and the Armageddon closes it down. Tornado.ROX with an outstanding performance here in their first game against NaVi, and they have overcome a huge opponent, and now the finals await.
I'm speechless. I mean, when I was watching those shots just bouncing off the side of those IS3s of Tornado.ROX, I had no words. And I mean, just individually poor play from NaVi, going for the tracks of the IS3 right in the middle of it where you have the spaced armor. I mean, that's just a team that's nervous. And this is why, the Continental Rumble is a brilliant idea, because it's a one-day tournament. It's a single elimination. We get to see these upsets. And NaVi, they just started to lose rounds so quickly, and going 3-1 down on Ruinberg, it might have even been the nail in the coffin.
They looked so frustrated afterwards, and NaVi just very quiet. It's going to be a very short tournament for these boys, pretty much. Their game, they're not going through to the finals. That's unreal. At the start of today, I could have told you flat out I thought it was going to be Wombats on tanks up against NaVi in the finals. And it's going to be absolutely neither. And I can imagine Tornado.ROX are absolutely elated, and they deserve it. And it does seem as though this guy on your screen right there, joined by Sean, is going to be just trying to calm himself down. And NaVi have to go back to the drawing board. But I think that's enough from us. Let's hear from the stage.
Thank you so much, guys. Wow. The first upset, I have to say, first of all in Russian, Privet. And how do you feel?
Хорошо, good. I feel good.
Round of applause. NaVi is a tough team.
Yeah.
Now you have, in the finals, the Wombats. How do you feel?
Good.
Okay, I won't put you on the pressure. English, obviously not. Let's do this in Russian. Do you have anything you'd like to say to your Russian fans?
Спасибо всем тем, кто болели за нас. Я думаю, мы не подвели вас.
Super. Thank you very much. Obviously, we'll see you again in the finals. Always good, always on the spot, me asking those questions. Now, of course, it's not over for NaVi. They will be going into that third place matchup where they will be playing there as well. And of course, Tornadoes books their place into the finals. Lots to discuss, lots for the guys to break down here, as we have seen two here at this wonderful Continental Rumble. Over to you, Luke.
Thank you, Sean. Humble pie here is en masse. We don't need to eat any lunch because, well, we were completely and utterly destroyed. I have to ask for a reason. What went wrong? Any guess what went wrong in general?
I don't know. The players from NaVi were just not performing like they should perform, with the exception of Powerslide. Powerslide showed a really nice performance, but that's about it. The other players of NaVi made huge individual mistakes. For example, taking too much damage at some points where it was completely unnecessary. For example, Anatolic on Ruinberg was losing like 1k HP for nothing whatsoever. I think that were the main reasons.
Yeah, it seems like I saw quite a few of them myself, and if I'm seeing them, then clearly that Tornado saw them as well. Tornado.ROX were on form, they were playing well. I didn't see anyone making huge mistakes, but on NaVi, I guess I was watching them closer, but I was seeing a significant amount of
seeing a lot of bounce shots, a lot of personal mistakes that I'm not to see NaVi make so many personal mistakes in one match. Usually they make like 1 or 2 per battle. Now everybody except for Slide was just not up to level. I mean, Tornado just literally outplayed them in every single round almost. It was insane. NaVi was really not up to level.
So let's go through step by step. Let's go through the battles. Like number 1, what happened in number 1? Or just take us through it, the story. How did it unfold?
Well,
obviously the first map, we've talked about the first map, but I mean...
NaVi started off with a left side play. They managed to kill the 12T from Tornado.ROX, which was a good opener. They got left shot to the cap, but after that, they kind of started leaking HP everywhere. Tornado.ROX managed to kill left shot by pushing the Annihilator to the 1 line. There's a building where they can go behind to reset, so he went behind there, killed left shot. Diador was locking down people left, right, and center with his Borsig. He played a massive role in that because he also shot left shot before he got onto the cap. And NaVi just didn't seem to have the right answer. The only person that actually tried something was Slide, that made a huge individual play and almost brought it back just by his individual play. But other than that, ROX just got the damage trades off. NaVi bounced a lot of shots.
So let's have a look at the 5th battle then. We got a small replay here. Was it on the 3rd minute in the game, or 3rd minute left on the game? Take us through it.
Yeah, here you can see Slide just shot at the IS-3, the Annihilator, and he went safe. Here he dodges the other 5100 from ROX, and this is where he just kills the other guy and gets safe again. There's a lot of players in that situation that would just reverse, back down into the city and hide. And here we can see this is the one time where NaVi actually showed their skill with the engagement. They realized what ROX did in the round before, and they were like, okay, we should do this and this and this. And here is the only time they actually won a straight-out brawl against Tornado.ROX.
Well, look at that ricochet right to the camera. Yeah, the last battle where NaVi was knocked out, that was unreal. The trap that was set, I've never seen such a trap. Was that quite a common situation where you have the cappers behind the building and a surround going on, so that no matter what NaVi did,
I think it was just a really quick flex call by whoever, probably Diador. They killed Slide over there in A6, and they realized that the entire A line is open. So somebody realized, okay, we should put 2 guys in cap and just create a crossfire. And the crossfire they set up was just lethal. You had a 5100 in the 0 line. I think it was positive right there in the 0 line. So he had the side shots. They killed Strike before he fired a single shell. And then they had the 2 IS-3s completely safe, and they didn't even manage to kill FC Dynamo on the first volley because 3 of them actually bounced their first shells in IS-3s. So he actually survived, and they didn't have time. They didn't have enough time to actually make a proper move. They pushed into a crossfire, and the crossfire was amazing from ROX.
I heard Ollie's groan as he saw the 3rd or 4th bounce in a row, and he was like, oh God, what happened? And at this moment, we all said, GG. We saw that was over, but that's what we saw. And we were surprised. Were you guys at home surprised? Because I believe it was about 20% of you saying that it could be Tornadoes, and probably most of you were just gambling.
Absolutely. I mean, we had 81% going for NaVi, which stuck until the very end, until after the first map. And, well, I will have to look into that if even someone got it right, to be honest.
We're not sure if anyone even got it right.
No.
Ah.
I mean, as already told before, most people were going for the endings. We also predicted like 5-2, 5-3. That's like kind of a safe bet if you go up against NaVi, one might think. But, well, that's why we love LAN, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why we love LAN, because the underdog sometimes prevails. I mean, Tornado is not really someone you would state as an underdog, but still,
compared to NaVi, they definitely are an underdog.
The only sad story is now we have to listen to Ollie brag about, hey, look at me, guys.
Look at
I
that
was
smug
right.
face. He's already standing
He's been
there
winking
like,
at us from over at the cast. Hey, guys, I was right. I was right. You guys are wrong.
Look how happy he is. You can't see it right now, but you will see later, I bet.
Now, we did have the 10K goal. Do we have a name?
Yes.
Drum roll again?
Well, the first one was Attack Penguin.
That's
666.
Yes, 666.
And, not the thumb. Please don't do that. And the second one was 1, 2, 3, 4 game. Welcome to Twitch chat. You won 10K gold. And the third one.
Oh, 3.
Yeah, because it's past 3 o'clock, right? The next
Time
one
flies
will
when you're having fun.
be announced at around 4 o'clock, which will be in roughly 40 minutes. So people stay tuned, head over in our Twitch chat, participate, talk to us, analyze yourself maybe, show them how it goes. They sometimes don't know it either, so they pretend to know it. That's our job pretty much, like to act like you know it. But well, people, Twitch chat, we love you, get participated. And the third winner is Annihilator114.
No way.
That guy is always in Twitch chat.
Yeah.
He is always there.
And he deserves it. Thank you very much for participating. And as said, the next winner will be announced in roughly 40 to 50 minutes. Get involved. And also don't forget our other challenges going on. ESL.GG Rumble Raffle is one for you guys. And of course our Team Camo. You told me.
Not Camo.
Team Camo. Team Camo Challenge is also going on. Most of you people love our Team Camo. I do as well. I really like them, to be honest. And people, get involved. Head over to our Facebook page, facebook.com/WGLU, and get yourself involved. The next team vote will be up in a few seconds. So head over and wait for it and be the first ones to predict the scoreline for our final.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
Final.
almost. No, I believe we have some other battles first.
Third, fourth place match normally first.
Third, fourth place, and the show match.
I was so excited
we
by
have other
jumping
things,
fast
but
forward.
it's coming up very soon. So let's go out there and clean those maps off, reset the scenery, and get the next battle underway. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.